Welcome back. Musicians make money off the 1,000 fan principle, which capitalizes on the lifelong relationship fans have with artists. So developing relationships with fans and making many profitable offers to them over time is the key to a profitable music business. But if you're relying on those fans to just keep their eyes peeled to your website and social media in order to receive those offers or even know what's going on in your career, you're dead in the water. It's 2019 and attention is like the oil of the digital era, which is why any entrepreneur, creative or otherwise, needs to know about Facebook custom audiences. And that's what we're covering in today's Itty Bitty Tutti Frutti. Hit it! And start sending to them on that basis. In MailChimp, when starting any email, a few episodes back, we broke down Facebook ad objectives and the 3 levels of Facebook ad campaigns. Throw in that link, Kenny. Then we broke down all of the audience features in Facebook in the last episode. Kenny, the link! Today we're gonna take a deeper dive into custom audiences, which basically allow you to choose which fans you want to advertise to based on exactly how they've interacted with you in the past. Oh, you wanna make an offer to your fans who have liked your page, subscribed to your email list, but haven't ever purchased anything? Well, custom audiences can do that. Oh, you wanted to offer ticket bundles to fans in Phoenix, Arizona who have added products from your store to their cart but never actually purchased, and you want them all to be 18 to 24. Yeah, custom audiences can do that. Oh, okay, so you want to offer a t-shirt to listeners who have watched 50% of your last music video but stopped watching before 75% of the way through. Come on, man. Custom audiences. There's so much you can do here that we actually can't cover it all in just one toot. So this will be part 1, and in the next episode we'll do part 2. Make sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified the second we drop that toot so that you don't miss a single thing. As we went over in the last toot, audiences aren't like lists of names. They're just targeting options you can throw into a Facebook ad campaign. So you can't tag your custom audience in a post or find out who they are, but you can run an ad to them, which means you can communicate with them in thousands of different ways across many different platforms. Think of it like this. You figure out exactly what you want to say to exactly who, you set up an ad campaign, and Facebook will make it happen. It's miraculous, it's magical, and most people, including Congress, don't really know how it works, so let's get you up to speed. Custom audiences are Facebook ad audiences that you build by selecting points of interaction as the targeting criteria. So if you tell Facebook that you want an audience which includes everybody who did any of these things I'm about to show you, Facebook will do that, and then you can use it in an ad campaign. So if you want to unlock the potential of custom audiences, you just need to know all the different combinations of criteria that custom audiences can be built on. And custom audiences come in a lot of different flavors. In this walkthrough, we're going to be talking extensively about custom engagement audiences, but there are also customer file audiences, which are uploaded lists of data, and website traffic audiences, which are based on activity on your website through the Facebook pixel, which we'll talk more about in the next 2. Now, engagement custom audiences are based on interaction that occurs on Facebook, Instagram, Facebook Messenger, or WhatsApp. In addition, there's also offline activity and app activity audiences. Now, app activity audiences are for app marketers, which is not most musicians, so we're gonna skip that, but offline activity audiences are very similar to customer file audiences. You're uploading lists of data that you have collected in, say, a spreadsheet, except this data includes purchase data, which is useful for brick and mortar stores that don't have like online trackable sales, but it's also useful for you at the shows with your merch table. In this tutorial, we're gonna skip offline activity for time, but it can be relevant to touring musicians, and you should know that. Okay, so that was probably a lot of confusing stuff. Let's just start with engagement custom audiences. I think you're really gonna get a handle over what we're talking about right now. There are 6 types of engagement custom audiences. The first is video, which is based on interaction with videos that you've uploaded to your Facebook page. These videos could also be live streams through Facebook Live, so you can also target live stream videos. When creating a custom audience based on video engagement, you're first going to select what amount of view time you want to target. So if you select 3 seconds, the audience will contain anyone who has watched 3 seconds or more of whatever videos you select in the next step. That includes anyone who has watched more than 3 seconds. If you choose 50%, it will ignore everyone who has watched less than 50% of the given video and only include those who watched to the halfway point or longer. Once you select this length or percentage criteria, you can then select one or more of your page's videos that you want to include in the audience criteria. You can also select multiple length criterias for different videos. So if you wanted to include an audience of people who have watched 50% of one video or 75% of another video, you can do that. For example, let's say you've got 3 videos. One's a minute and a half, one is 2.5 minutes, and another is 5 minutes. Now, if you want to create an audience of people who have watched more than a minute of any of these videos, you could choose 75% of the minute and a half video, 50% of the 2.5 minute video, and 25% of the 5-minute video. Everyone in this audience will have watched more than a minute of video on your page. Lastly, you have a date selector. Now, for privacy reasons, most custom audiences can only go back 1 year and some only 6 months. So if you're targeting those who have watched 50% of a certain video that is 2 years old, the audience can't actually include those who watched 50% more than a year ago. It will only include those who have watched 50% of that video in the last year. You can also choose less time, all the way down to 1 day. And in the next tutorial, we're going to talk about time windowing, and these date selectors will become increasingly relevant. But don't worry about that for now. For a broad majority of cases, we're selecting the maximum amount of time that Facebook will let us select, unless we want to speak to people for a specific reason from a specific date window. Once you've got your criteria set exactly how you want it, you can give your audience a name that indicates what it is and even a description for further explanation at a quick glance. And boom, create the audience and it is ready to be used in any ad campaign that you want. Magical. Mwah. Now, every audience has this name and description feature, so we're not going to go over it again. I'm just going to skip it in all the future types that we cover. The next 2 types of engagement custom audiences are less relevant to the average musician or creative entrepreneur, and those are lead forms and full screen experience. These are each types of ads that you can run, and we touched on them briefly in the first tutorial. Kenny, the link! A lead ad in Facebook allows you to collect information about your audience without having to send them to your website to fill out a form. When they click on a lead ad, a lead form will pop up and Facebook will pre-fill it with the information that Facebook already has on that user. So you can create custom audiences based on interaction with one of these lead forms. The full screen experience ad type can be used in many different types of campaigns, and it's meant to supplement the need for a landing page on your website. Because Facebook has like all the servers, Facebook can render a full screen online experience like a website way faster than your Squarespace or WordPress or ClickFunnels website ever could. Especially when it comes to mobile use, Facebook is much better at loading mobile experiences than your web host. Plus, Facebook wants to keep users on Facebook. With full screen experiences, you can pretty much create a landing page type of design right inside Facebook, and when clicked, it will open up with lightning speed. And you can create engagement custom audiences based on interaction with that full screen experience. Now, Facebook page and Instagram profile custom audiences are incredibly useful for musicians. With Facebook page custom audiences, you have a number of different targeting options. First, you have this any and all selector. Now, if you choose any, the audience will include people who match any of the criteria you select. And if you choose all, the audience will only include people who match all of the criteria that you select. So if you select people who engaged with any post, but then you include people who clicked any call to action button, but you choose all, then your audience will only consist of people who have done both of those things. They engaged with your post or ad, and they clicked a call to action button. Selecting any will include those people and the people who have done either of those things. This any and all selector is available on many different types of custom audiences, so I won't re-explain how it works throughout this tutorial. When we go over the other custom audiences, you now know how it works, and I'm not gonna rehash it. Next, you can select the Facebook page you wanna target and then select the targeting criteria. Your options are everyone who engaged with your page, which is the widest possible selection for this audience type, anyone who visited your page, anyone who engaged with any post or ad from your page, anyone who clicked any call to action button on your page or post, and anyone who sent a message to your page, which is very useful, or anyone who saved your page or any post or ad from your page. Then you have a date selector just like the one in the video engagement custom audiences. Finally, you have this include more or exclude option down here. Now, this is something that will pop up again and again, so let's get an understanding of it now. When I change our any all selector to all, include more changes to narrow further. Let me change that back for a second. When you click include more, it adds another layer of criteria that you can select from. This is where that any and all selector at the top comes into play. You can have everyone who meets any of these two criteria sets, or you can have everyone who meets both or all of these criteria sets. With most custom audiences, you can have up to 5 sets of criteria. See how when I add them, it says or, because we have any selected at the top. When we change it to all, or becomes and, because these audiences will only include people who match the first criteria set and the others. We also have the option to exclude people who meet certain criteria. This means we could create an audience of people who have engaged with your page but haven't clicked a call to action button. With exclude, we can get really specific about who we want to talk to, and this is where the concepts that I talked about at the beginning of this tutorial really come into play. By narrowing the window of criteria for targeting, we can be precise about who we're talking to, which allows you to heavily personalize your message for your audience. And the more you personalize your message to the mindset and the history of the person you're advertising to, the more you will catch their attention and get them to take an action. Include more, narrow further, and exclude are options that are present throughout Facebook's targeting features. So having a handle on what they do unlocks a world of possibility for communicating with your audience. You can literally never talk to the wrong person the wrong way again with these features. All right, now let's go back and talk about Instagram business profile audiences. When you change your Instagram profile to a business profile, which is like the difference between a Facebook profile and a Facebook page, you unlock the marketing potential of your Instagram. Again, we have the any and all selector, the profile selector, and then the criteria selector and the include more, narrow further, and exclude options. And again, we can target everyone who engaged with your Instagram, those who visited your Instagram profile, those who engaged with any Instagram post or ad, those who DM'd you, and those who saved a post or ad from your profile. Okay. Rounding out the engagement custom audiences is the event audience targeting. If you're a musician, you're probably familiar with Facebook events and event pages. With event custom audiences, you again have the normal any and all selectors and include exclude options. And you can target people who responded going or interested or both, people who have visited your event page, people who have engaged with your event, people who have clicked a buy tickets button, which is a relatively new feature of events, people who have actually purchased those tickets, and then people who had the intention of purchasing tickets. I can't tell you how powerful these features are in practice. We just had one of our agency clients sell out about a 500 cap room in London with these features. Now, you can remind those who have forgotten to buy tickets to go ahead and buy them with customized video ads speaking directly to them. You can offer discounts to people who are on the fence about buying them. You can follow up with ticket buyers and pre-sell merch bundles or offer exclusive VIP packages. There's so freaking much you can do. You can even run a video recap of the show to those who attended after it's over. A world of possibilities lies in these options. Okay, the clock is running long here, so we're gonna bookmark it. We're gonna table this combo for now. You know what? Let's put a pin in it and come back to it later. But in the next episode of Tiny Toots, we'll be covering website traffic audiences and customer file audiences, which for most marketers and entrepreneurs are literal gold mines. So make sure to like the video and subscribe, and yes, ring the bell to get notified when we drop the next toot, vlog, or review. I've been Circa for Full Stack Creative. This has been Tiny Toots. You've been lovely, and for the love of Pete, if you're not using business.facebook.com yet, get connected, start fiddling around with your audiences. It can change your whole setup. Till next time, indies, I'll see you in the next little